So let us plot the graph. We have people v of x equal to x square minus x raised to 4. And what did we find? Do you remember? We had find v of x value was 0.25 at x equal to plus or minus 1 upon root 2, which is plus or minus 0.7071. Okay. So what will be the coordinates if you will plot the graph, people? V of x comma x. What will be the coordinates? Along x-axis, we have plus or minus 0.7071, and along y-axis we have 0.25. Write these coordinates as well, and then I will show you the graph live. Write these coordinates as well. Okay, so let's plot the graph, people. X square minus x raised to 4. Let's have some fun with the Desmos again. I know you enjoy this part. I've seen it in your faces. So here we go. X square minus x raised to 4. Let's plot x square minus x raised to 4. So this is the graph, something like an M. This is the graph, people. Do you see we have two maxima, like we suspected. We have two maxima, people. We have two maxima. Do you want to check the points as well? Look at the point. It is 0.707, 0.25, and look at this point. It is minus 0.707, 0.25. Like we said, plus or minus 0.07, people. So this is plus 0.707.25, and this is plus 0.707, 0.25. Did you enjoy this part as well? Samjha, graph, okay. So let's continue. Next part. So people, one of the best part about IIT JAM exam is that we have to learn around 100 to 140 topics, but the questions asked are only 60. So obviously they cannot ask question from each and every topic, but yes, they can still ask question from each and every topic. How? If they club the topics, right? If they club the topics. And one of the best part about this maxima minima topic that we have just learned is that it can be clubbed to various other topics: equilibrium, simple harmonic motion, central forces. If quantum mechanics, you can club maxima minima, people, with a lot many topics. So one of the most popular topic, like literally one of the most popular topic, just the assignment that I will be giving you all, it has questions from 2005 to 2020 from all these different entrances. If at all they have asked the question on the same topic. So one of the most popular type of question where they club is simple harmonic motion, people. So before that, let us learn something about equilibrium. Do you realize that this is minima, correct? And this, everybody, is maxima. Tell me, if I tell you keep a ball in this minima, it is stable, right? It is stable. Because if I tell you pull this ball, then it will come down, it will go up, it will come down, it will oscillate, but eventually it will reach this point again. This is stable. But if at all we talk about maxima, people, it is unstable. If at all you keep a ball on maxima, then just a gentle push and it will never come back to the same maxima. So this is unstable. This is unstable. And then we have something like a flat surface, and if you keep a ball on this, you call it neutral, people. You call it neutral. So just make a note of it, that stable means minima, unstable means maxima, and neutral is just a flat surface. Neutral means a flat surface. At minima, remember that d square y by dx square is greater than 0. At maxima, d square y by dx square is less than 0. And at neutral, d square y by dx square is equal to 0. Okay? Please make a note of it. Shall we continue? Acha, by the way, tell me one thing. If at all I tell you a particle is oscillating, which equilibrium will it be? Oscillation is only possible in this, right? Oscillation is only possible in stable equilibrium, people. So please remember, if at all they tell you that a particle is oscillating, make a note of it. It simply means they are talking about stable equilibrium. Matlab, all you have to find is minima. Please make a note of it, because stable equilibrium is the only point. Okay, Achu, no issues, no issues. Oscillating will simply mean, people, it is stable equilibrium. So if at all in exam they mention that a particle is oscillating, please remember they have given you a hint that it is which equilibrium, people, stable equilibrium. So what you have to find, people, you have to find minima. Okay, let's continue. Now let's learn something about simple harmonic motion, people. Simple harmonic motion. So suppose we have a particle which is at this position, mean position, equilibrium position. Tell me one thing, if at all you displace the particle towards the right by displacement x, what do you think will happen? Will it stay here for forever? Will the particle stay here for forever? No, right? Because you have oscillated this pendulum, it will always try to restore itself. There will be a restoring force in the opposite direction. It is quite obvious. If you displace it towards right, then there will be a restoring force which will try to restore the particle towards the mean position, F restoring. And it's obvious. Tell me one thing, more the displacement, more will be the restoring force, and less the displacement, less will be the restoring force. If you displace it by larger amount, then it will come back very strongly. But if you displace it by a very small amount, then it will come back very slowly. Correct? So can I simply say more the displacement, more the restoring force, less the displacement, less the restoring force? More the displacement, comma, more the restoring force. More the restoring force. So can I say the restoring force is directly proportional to displacement? Because if displacement is greater, then restoring force is greater. Displacement is less, then restoring force is less. But remember, displacement is a vector quantity, people. Force is also a vector quantity. And displacement, if at all it is in the right direction, then the restoring force is in the left direction. Both are opposite in direction, people. So there will be a minus sign here. There will be a minus sign here. Did you understand from where did this minus sign come? Because restoring force and displacement are in opposite direction. Remove the proportionality. What do we get? Restoring force will be a constant K into X. This constant K, everybody, is called as what? Force constant. Force constant. Please make a note of this much. If you want, you can show the diagram as well. If displacement is in, the restoring force is in the opposite direction. Okay, done. So let's talk about this force constant in detail now. I think I know that you all have learned this topic in high school in 11th and 12th, right? You must have also revised it during your bachelor's as well. So let's continue. Restoring forces, people, minus kx. Can I write restoring force as ma, mass into acceleration? This is minus kx. So a will be what, people? Minus k upon m into x. And tell me one thing, just tell me, have you ever learned something like let omega square equal to k by m? So you can show me a thumbs up or something. Or have you ever learned omega square equal to k by m? Do you remember something like this? Not really? Okay, Pushpita said that she remembers omega square was k by m. Anybody else? Have you do you remember something like that you have assumed omega square equal to k by m? Okay, so my question is, why omega square is equal to k by m? In I mean, in your books, people, in your high school books, they have used this word let, and students are confused that why omega square is k by m, people. Asha, by the way, what is omega? Omega is angular frequency or angular speed or angular velocity. Huh? Angular speed or angular velocity, whatever you want, you can call it. Okay. Okay. So omega square is k by m. The question is why? This is something which they don't answer in the books. This is something which they don't answer in the books. So I can try to explain this to you using dimensions, people. What is the dimension of omega? So what is the unit of omega? Omega is radian per second, right? Do you remember omega is radian per second, angular speed? Radian has no dimension, people, but the second has dimension t1. The second has dimension t1. So this becomes t minus 1. The dimension for omega is, everybody, t minus 1. So omega square, the dimension for omega square will be t minus 2. Correct? I mean, it's t minus 1 the whole square, right? This is how you write t minus 2. This is the dimension for omega square. Now let us determine the dimension for k, people. So look at this. Let me use a different color. Restoring force is k into x. I've taken magnitude. Okay. Restoring force is k into x. So restoring force upon x, this is k, people. Restoring force upon x, this is k. What is force mass into acceleration? Mass into acceleration upon x, this is k, everybody. Correct? And what is mass? What is mass? Kg. What is acceleration? Meter per second square. And what is x? X is displacement, which is meter. So this is also k, people. Mass is kg, acceleration is meter per second square, and displacement is x. Displacement is meter. Okay. Acceleration is this. Just hold on. Acceleration is this much, meter per second square, and mass is kg. So what do we get now? Meter gets cancelled. Meter gets cancelled. So k is, everybody, simply what? Kg upon second square. Kg is mass, which is m1. Second square is time, which is t2. So what do we get? m1 t minus 2. m1 t minus 2. Correct? This is the dimension for k, people. This is the dimension for k. Then tell me one thing. What will be the dimension for k by m? K by m. What is the dimension of k? m1 t minus 2. What is the dimension of mass, people? m1. What is the dimension of mass? m1. m1 gets cancelled. And what do we get? T minus 2, everybody. Do you see? Omega square is t minus 2. K by m is t minus 2. So can I just say that omega square is k by m? समझा क्या? पुष्पिता, नितिन, एबिन, हर्षला, आशु, धनश्री, आशु. समझा why omega square is k by m, everybody? Because their dimensions are equal, people. Their dimensions are equal. And this is the reason that heat, work, energy, all of them have same units joule, because they share the same dimension, people. They share the same dimension. Is that clear? Ebin, Niti, Achu, did you get this? Let me know if you have a doubt. Please make a note of it. So all I have tried to explain you here is why omega square is equal to k by m. Okay. Okay, done. So let's continue. So people, what did we just get? We have found that omega square is k by m. So can I say that omega is under root k by m? Do you remember that omega can be written as 2 pi into frequency? So 2 pi into frequency is, everybody, under root k by m. So frequency is, everybody, 1 upon 2 pi under root k by m. Correct? And do you remember that time period is 1 upon frequency? So time period is frequency reciprocal. Just reverse all of it. 1 upon 2 pi will become 2 pi. Root of k by m will become root of m by k. Please make a note of it. People, we will be learning this in oscillation chapter. Huh? When we'll be doing oscillation and waves. In oscillation and waves, we'll learn that this k, force constant, can be found using, understand something. We have force F equal to minus kx. Force exists. So you do force against some work. I mean, since force exists, people, work will exist because displacement exists. Work exists. Force exists. Displacement is there. Work exists. This work is, everybody, converted into potential energy. Work is converted into potential energy. So potential energy exists. Potential energy exists. People, we will denote potential energy by V. We will denote potential energy by V. V of X. V of X. Okay. So what we are going to learn is this force constant can be found using d square V of X by dx square at X equal to X0. Basically, it will be there will be a minima. Let me explain you nicely. Don't take it heavily. So there will be oscillation, right? There will be oscillation. If there is oscillation, we will have minima. We will have minima, correct? And let us say this is potential energy and this is X. So this point is everybody X naught. And this is your V of X. Ab samjha? I hope it's clear now. Okay. So this is what we will be deriving. We will derive an oscillation and waves. Don't worry about this. When we'll learn oscillation and waves, this is we'll derive this thing then. Right now, please note this, that it can be found using d square V of X upon dx square at X equal to X naught. So now what is the use of this? Like I said, we are going to club. This is what, this is second derivative, right? So this is maxima minima problem. We just clubbed oscillation chapter with this. And now let us take a question. Let us take a question. Acha, please remember what will be the steps. Basically, they will give us V of X, correct? They will give us V of X. What you will do, you will differentiate it and you will find this second step, K. You will find K. And then you will substitute K here and you can find time period. This is the step, people. If you want, you can note. V of X will be given. Second step will be find K, which is d square V upon dx square at X equal to X naught. Remember, X naught is minima point. X naught is minima point, people. Ye diagram dekh lo. Look at the diagram. X naught is minima point. Okay. And then third step will be substitute K in this time period expression, and you will find the time period. Okay. Okay. So now let us take a question which was asked in JEST paper, people. Joint entrance screening test. Yes, just imagine just 1.5 hours of class, and we have already learned something which is being asked in all these papers, people. JEST 2018. Let's solve this. A particle of mass 1 kg is undergoing small oscillation about the equilibrium point. So small oscillation, equilibrium point. Oscillation, like I said, it means stable equilibrium, which means minima. Simple. In the potential is given to us. The time period in second, they are asking us time period. What is time period, people? 2 pi under root m by k. So we have to find k, people. And how do we find k? If simply by finding second derivative. So let's proceed. Let's take the first step. First step is given to us. V of X is 1 upon 2 into X raised to 12 minus 1 upon X raised to 6. Second step, derivative dv by dx. So this is 1 by 2 d by dx of 1 upon X raised to 12 minus of d by dx of 1 upon X raised to 6. So this will be half into. What is derivative of X raised to 1 upon X raised to 12, people? Minus 12 upon X raised to 13 minus, what is derivative of 1 upon X raised to 6? Minus 6 upon X raised to 7. Please cancel the things and see what do we get. This is 2 1s are 2 6s are. So we get dv by dx as it is equal to minus 6 upon X raised to 13 minus 6 upon X raised to minus plus 6 upon X raised to 7. Okay. This is dv by dx, everybody. Second step, what do? We equate dv by dx with 0. Third step, equate dv by dx with 0. So let's do this. Minus 6 upon X raised to 13 plus 6 upon X raised to 7. This is 0, everybody. So 6 upon X raised to 7. This is 6 upon X raised to 13. And what do we get? 6 gets cancelled. X raised to 13 is X raised to 7, or I can say X raised to 6 is everybody 1, right? Or I can say that X is plus or minus 1, because X raised to 6, Achha, I have to write in white, really sorry. X raised to 13 is X raised to 7, or I can say X raised to 6 is 1, or I can say that X raised to 6 is plus or minus 1 raised to 6, right? So I can say that x is what, people? Plus or minus 1. So this is x equal to plus or minus 1. Now we don't know whether this is maxima or minima, by the way. We are yet to find this is maxima or minima. Remember, we need minimum value. We need minima because it is oscillating, stable equilibrium. Please let me know if at all you face difficulty in calculations or derivatives. It's completely fine. If at all you have lost the basics as well, let me know. Done copying? Ebin, Pushpita, Dhanashri? So all of them have done. Ebin, copying done? Okay, let's continue. So x equal to plus or minus 1. And now let's find second derivative, right? So let's do that. Fourth step, d square v upon dx square. It is actually derivative of the first derivative, dv by dx. So this is d by dx of, what was first derivative, people? It was minus 6 upon x raised to 13 plus 1 up plus 6 upon x raised to 7, right? Okay, so let's split them. So this is minus 6 d by dx of 1 upon x raised to 13 plus 6 d by dx of 1 upon x raised to 7, right? So this will be equal to minus 6 into, what is derivative of 1 upon x raised to 13? This is minus 13 upon x raised to 14 plus 6 into, what is derivative of 1 upon x raised to 7? Minus 7 upon x raised to 8. Open the brackets. What do we get? Minus 6 into minus 13. Minus minus becomes plus. 13 into 6, people. 78 upon x raised to 14. Minus 7 into 6, 42 upon x raised to 8. Now, sir, इसके आगे हम क्या करें? People, we have to find at x equal to plus or minus 1. At x equal to plus or minus 1. Don't forget. We have found x equal to plus or minus 1. Substitute. So, at x equal to plus or minus 1. This is our fifth step, everybody. This is fifth step. D square v upon dx square. This will become 78 upon plus or minus 1 raised to 14 minus of plus or minus 1 raised to 14 minus of 42 upon plus or minus 1 raised to 8. But tell me one thing, anything 1 raised to 14 or 1 raised to 8, this is going to be 1, 78 upon 1, this is minus 42 upon 1. So this is how much, people? 36. This is greater than 0. Hooray. This is minima. Greater than 0, na? We found out minima, people. So x equal to plus or minus 1 is minima, okay? X equal to plus or minus 1 is minima. Just hold on, huh? We don't have to find x equal to plus or minus 1. We have to find time period. Let me know when you have done copying this much. Happiness done. Pushpita is done. Okay. So what did we just find? We have found that d square v by dx square at x equal to plus or minus 1 is at x equal to plus or minus 1 is how much? 36. And x equal to plus or minus 1 is minima, people. Do you remember we just said that k d square v upon dx square at x equal to x naught, where x naught is minima, right? So we have simply found k. Do you realize that we have found k, people? समझा क्या? We have found out k. तो खत्म ना यार. Time period क्या है? 2 pi under root m by k. So this is 2 pi under root. What is mass? Mass is 1 kilogram upon k, which is 36. 2 pi. What is the square root of 36, people? 6. What is 2 pi by 6? Pi by 3. Just imagine, आप लोगों ने, you have just solved just 2018 question, everybody. In 2 hours of class, we have already solved IIT exam question. We have already solved one question from this. How wonderful. So the question was 1 upon 2x raised to 12 minus of what was it, 6 upon x raised to 6, right? I forgot, just hold on. 1 upon x raised to 6, 1 upon x raised to 6, yes. 1 upon x raised to 6. Look at this graph. Okay, so this is the graph, everybody, and we have got two minima. Which were our values, by the way? Which were our values? We had found that at x equal to plus or minus 1, x equal to plus or minus 1, we had found minima, right? We had found minima. Please check. Look at this. This is minus 1 and this is plus 1. All good? Samjha? Okay.